Okay. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the final workshop in the Lecturers Virtual Series. Today, we're with some Junior Grange committee members, and we are discussing the official title of this workshop is, how can we find new ways to connect with our Grange's youngest members during the COVID pandemic and beyond? So last year, it seemed like a lot of Grange activities ground to a halt due to the COVID pandemic. One thing that Lorraine, our previous director, immediately did was switch our Junior Grange camp to virtual. And I know it was so hard to do these virtual activities. Anything virtual at the beginning felt strange, unusual, off the guard, we were kind of flying by the seat of our pants as we went at the beginning. As we switched to online schooling, as we switched to learning from home, everything kind of got a little easier as we went on. Virtual camp last year was fantastic. It was a great experiment in a way of what can we do with Zoom, what can we do with Facebook rooms, what can we do through the various means of connecting with one another. So this year, when I took over as Junior Director, I introduced a new series that we call the Junior Online Gathering. And I'm planning to continue this once the pandemic is totally lifted. So I'm going to share some info with you right now to say that you're all invited tomorrow to our next Junior Online Gathering. It's tomorrow, May 23rd, from 2 to 3 o'clock. What we do at our Junior Online Gatherings is we do a quick informational session of some sort. We do an activity of some sort, and then we just kind of hang out and have some fun together. This is a great way for us to connect our Junior Grangers from across the state. The links to these are posted in the Pennsylvania State Junior Grange Facebook group. We like to keep it a little private so that we ensure who we know what juniors are gathering and who is joining us. For protection of all of our kids. It's one of the things that I really want to talk about today is keeping our kids safe as well in this virtual format. So this Junior Online Gathering is specifically for Pennsylvanians. We have had a couple other junior directors from other states join us. They asked permission and I said, of course, please, because I know who they are. Safety online has been a huge concern. So anytime that we do the Junior Online Gatherings, I also ask that parents stay close so that they also know what's happening. Tomorrow, you might guess by the background, our theme is Memorial Day, and actually we're going to talk a little bit about Veterans Day too, and the difference between the two. Tomorrow's Junior Online Gathering is led by Tina Reich, who is one of our committee members. And if you want that information, go ahead and you can join the Junior Grange Facebook page. Go ahead and shoot me a Facebook message. I'm available. It's just my name, Philip Vonada. And you can join us. It's just an hour of your day, and I'd love to see you there. I'm going to stop sharing that. So before we get too far into this, I do want to introduce our committee members who are floating around this Facebook screen right now, or this Zoom screen right now. So as I say your name, just go ahead, give a wave. If you want to say something, go right ahead. So I'll start. I'm going to just go in order of who's on my screen. We have Miranda Irons, who represents the Northwest. We have Jen Beeman, who represents Southeast. Cassie Kays, who also represents the Southeast. Tina Reich, who represents South Central. And Ashley Furman, who represents North Central, which is also where I live. We're also missing today Christy Straub, who represents the western side of the state. And then we also have our junior ambassadors, Bryce Danko and Elizabeth Reich, who will be giving up their 2-year reign in July. So I want to talk a little bit about what makes a good virtual activity for juniors. And I have 3 simple rules. Keep it simple, keep it short, and keep it fun. So by simple, I don't mean easy. I mean, let's not make it too much work. That's for us as directors, for those of us who are putting on the workshops, and also for the kids who are participating in the workshops at home. Remember that we're working with, as Junior Grange, age 5 to 14 specifically, but we always have mini juniors who are the younger kids popping in. So that's our, roughly 2 to 5-year-olds who can also participate in these things. So one of the things that I say by keep it simple is to find an activity that everybody can participate in. In January, at our first junior online gathering, we made these adorable K-cup snowmen. Our craft this year is recycled K-cups. So this was maybe a 10-minute craft activity that everybody was able to participate in. We let them know ahead of time, here are the things that you should have to participate in this craft, which in this case was 2 K-cups, some glue, black paint, and a Sharpie. That's all you needed to make this happen. So this was very little work for me as a director to prepare. And it was really fun to see the kids at home doing it as well. I made mine a little more difficult by adding twine to it, which you can also do. And I also made it more difficult by doing it wrong the first time. So it's okay to show that as directors, you get things wrong too, like an upside down snowman. But it's a lot of fun to see the creativity that the kids can do with just a few small things at home. I know Tina has a small craft prepared for tomorrow that I'm pretty sure just involves construction paper. Tina, do you want to talk about give a preview of tomorrow?
It's fireworks.
Oh,
And it's either red, white, and blue paint or markers, and then some paper, construction paper, or even just plain old paper. So great. That's simple. And everybody should have, and I guess if you don't know markers, you could use crayons even too. So, but I mean, I know, try to come up with ideas that are flexible, that are multiple things that people might have that you can do it different ways. Don't want to send people to the store to have to get stuff.
Exactly. So we want to use craft products that people might have at home already. We don't want to make things more difficult on the parents by saying, oh, now you also need to go get these 12 very specific craft items that you're only going to ever use for this one craft. Because I have a whole drawer full of those things here at my house. The next thing is to keep it short. You saw that our junior online gatherings are only an hour long, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, the third or fourth Sunday every other month, just to keep things kind of consistent across the way. The reason that we keep it short is not just because we know that our juniors' attention spans are limited. That's one reason that we keep it short. But the other reason is because we don't like to waste anybody's time. We want to make sure that we're respectful of parents' time. We want to make sure that we are respectful of our kids' time. A lot of people, I think, assume that kids have all this time in the world on the weekends to participate in these kind of things or in the evenings. But we also have to remember that there are other activities. There's church activities, there's other Grange activities, there's sports, all these things. So we want to make sure that we're keeping it short so that way we are respecting the time that they are giving us and that we are also giving them. And using that time wisely when we're all together. So that's why we kind of jam pack it with activities and keep it fun for the kids. One of the things I want to share now is actually another thing that we did in our March junior online gathering, which is part of both keeping it simple and keeping it fun. When I remember a lecturer a long time ago telling me there are 3 keys to a lecturer's activity, and that's to keep it educational, keep it fun, and keep it inspirational. So this was an educational and fun activity for our kids to participate in, which was this milk and cereal bars recipe, which I'm happy to share with any of you at any time. This was a super simple recipe that we were able to do together as at our junior online gathering with the kids, with some parent help. It only used a microwave, so that way the kids had no chance of hurting themselves. And it was a fun way to also teach them about freeze-dried ingredients. And that's all I really have to say about that screen. It's just another example of something that you can do. It doesn't always have to be a craft item that stays at home. It can be something delicious and nutritious as well. So I'm now going to ask everybody that's here to participate in the next activity, which is the very first activity we ever did at a junior online gathering. And I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes as we do this. And then, oh, Jen just gave me the look. It's just going to be a short one here. Tell you what, we'll do 3 minutes because it's just, you know, the committee and Hayden. So Hayden, get ready to run. And we are going to do a very quick scavenger hunt. So this is an idea that keeps us all active at home. It keeps the kids away from the screen, but also ready to go. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes to find as many of these things as possible. Go. I guess I should do it too.
Yeah, you better be involved here. Man, I'm glad I have all the kids' toys right here.
Right?
Yet nothing round. I can't find anything round.
I can't find anything with stripes in this house. Oh, wait, there's some stripes. Should also say you shouldn't duplicate items, but for today, whatever happens, happens. You got 45 seconds left. Okay, and time is up. Okay, so now is where everybody comes back together. I'm gonna wait for a couple people to come back on screen here. Okay, and now's where we share what we found. So let's start with something round. I found these stickers. Good, good, good. Okay, something with stripes. Found this card that has a stripe on it. Miranda, yours just looks like the bridge. Oh, there we go. Got it. Something that floats. Got the biggest rubber ducky I could find. Something that tells time. Good. Cassie, that's a very fancy clock.
Wow.
something summer-y. Got my flip-flops. Tina, is that an adult beach novel?
It is a beach novel, but it's like a Christian inspirational writer beach novel, not an adult beach novel.
That's much better.
Something you have 10 of. Jelly bellies.
Where'd they go?
Oh, you've missed Grangey.
Oh, something Grangey. I did. My bad. We'll come back to that one in a second.
Okay. 10.
Something Grangey. I've got my Junior Grange All-Star shirt on. Good. Something you cannot eat. I went with, it doesn't work now. Don't need the scissors. Something sticky.
Band-Aids.
Good. I also went with the literal term and went with a stick. But something warm. I didn't find anything for this one. Unless this actually lights up. Ah, there.
You're duplicating, aren't you?
I did. That was a duplicate. Something with buttons. Oh. Got this shirt off my closet door.
Smart Miranda.
Oh, Miranda. Good. Good.
On my mouse.
Something that lights up with my phone. Something square. Have stamps.
Oh, where's my something square? Oh, yeah.
Oh, there were no stamps on that side. I didn't know. Stamps. There we go. Something blue. My mask. Good. Something with paws. My little Swarthmore magnet.
This is my teddy bear.
Cute.
Oh, Tina. Oh my God. That is great.
He's coming to camp with me this year, I have a feeling.
Something scratchy.
That's creepy.
Scratchy.
Scratchy.
Ooh, that's good.
And something with eyes. Ashley, whose Barbie is that?
Katie's.
Okay, great. Good job, guys. Thank you all for participating in that.
Should I tell you that I didn't even get out of my chair and leave my desk?
Oh,
Wow.
no.
I was lazy and was just doing this, so.
That's
Hey,
impressive.
you grabbed a lot of things for being right there. So the reason that I really like that activity is because it really requires very little planning on the junior director's part, which seems like a cop-out, but it's not. It's something that gets your kids up and moving at home. It's a very quick activity. I think when we did this with the junior online gathering, I think we gave 10 minutes and challenged the kids to be as creative as possible with their answers as well. This is also why I planned the online photo scavenger hunt as well, because it also encouraged the kids to get out of their houses to take pictures. The thing about virtual activities is that it doesn't have to be planned from beginning to end. It doesn't have to be something that takes place in a very specific time frame. So the virtual scavenger hunt, I think we gave a month and a half to say, use this time, get out of your house, go explore and see what you can find. Encouraging kids to get out in the environment, to see what there is out there, to look at things from a new perspective as well. And that's something that I really want to encourage as junior directors, especially to look for things from a new perspective, to take old activities that we've done before and put a new spin on them. Something like this scavenger hunt is something that has been planned for years and years. And so just to put a new kind of perspective on it and to encourage the kids to have as much fun with it as possible in a very short time frame. And then it also gives you as director 10 minutes to potentially just sit there and say, I can cool down now. Let's let the kids have some fun, get some sillies out, because you'll see in a lot of these online gatherings that the kids do have a lot of questions. They want to chime in as much as possible, which is great. I always say, let the children guide the way. So if the children have ideas, if they have questions, if they just want to tell a quick story, great, let them, but then also encourage them to then go back and participate in the activities as you move along. So I was going to open it up to questions to whoever's here to see if anybody has any questions or ideas. So I will go ahead. Anybody have any questions or comments? No. So the thing that I really want to encourage people to do as we move out of the pandemic, or beyond the pandemic, because I don't know if we're ever really going to truly move out of it, as we move forward, is to encourage more of these virtual gatherings. One thing that I've noticed is that the accessibility through these gatherings, it allows people who can't typically travel to events to be able to tune in. It allows people who are immunocompromised and don't like going out in public to begin with because of their health. It allows them to still be a part of the organization and whatever you're planning. For me, it's important to give as many families access to junior activities as possible. So often statewide activities are limited to camp or family festival or things that families have to pay for to take part in. So by presenting something like these junior online gatherings, it's a free hour that anybody can participate in, regardless of socioeconomic status or anything like that, because you don't need to pay for anything. And then the one thing that I like to do as director is also to send a follow-up, to send an email to thank people for tuning in. In March, we talked about pollinators. I led a very quick, 15-minute, if even, workshop on pollinator plants and why we plant them and what kinds of things to plant. And then every kid that participated in that junior online gathering also got a physical pack of seeds from me to remind them about what we talked about and to encourage them to continue on the lesson. I think it's important that we extend these virtual gatherings to the real world, and to give kids a tangible reminder of, this is what we did, this is how we're going to move forward from here. When we did the January one, everybody got to leave with their snowman. Also in March, everybody got to eat their delicious milk and cereal bars, which are really good, and I've made a couple times since. So there's always something physical that comes out of these as well. It's not just an hour of staring at a screen. I really think that it's important to find ways to have as many kids participate and actually take part in it, and not just watch it from home as possible. And there will always be families that tune in, say, oh, I didn't know I needed to bring things. Oh, I don't have this craft project at home. And that's why we encourage them to say, you know what, tune in anyway. Come join us, hang around for a while. We're happy to have you, and make everybody feel part of the group. I know it's scary sometimes for kids to come in person to things for the first time because they don't know anybody. So it's really this is also a really fun way to allow kids to introduce themselves to one another and to see kids from around the state. And then when they come to something like Family Festival, State Camp, the Junior Jamboree, that is a statewide activity, kids can say, oh, I recognize that kid. I know that kid from last year's virtual camp. I think I've seen them on a junior online gathering, and gives an instant connection of, I know that we have something in common. I'm really excited to meet you now in person. So, which actually leads me to, I did want to talk about quickly our junior camp this year, which is going to be in person. And I just wanted to touch on it really briefly and invite you all as junior members to come to camp this year. It does start June 27th and runs through July 3rd at Camp Sylvan Hills. And we may still find a way to add some virtual options into camp to allow kids who can't attend to tune in for an hour or so here and there. I'm hopefully going to stream the coronation ceremony live on Facebook to find a way to do that, even though Wi-Fi is a little spotty at Sylvan Hills, so we're going to do our best to make sure that people who can't be there in person have the ability to attend and be a part of our group. We don't want to, as Grangers, we never want to exclude anybody from participating. And I think that's especially important for our Junior Grangers to know that they are always welcome, regardless of where they come from, who their parents are, whether or not they feel like they have money, anything like that. There's no reason that a junior shouldn't be able to participate in our activities. And so that's really all I have, because I was hoping people would have more questions and comments today. So if anybody has anything very quickly, I'm all ears. As I take another sip of my monkey coffee. No? Well, then that's all we have for today then. So thank you all for coming. This was a short and sweet message about connecting with our juniors. The really important thing, I think, is to make sure that the word gets out there. I know Lizzie does a great job of putting as much as possible into the weekly newsletters that she emails out. I do my best to get it in our Facebook group and the Pennsylvania State Grange Facebook from our emails. So please just stay in touch. Feel free to friend me on Facebook, because I will be posting information as we go along. And if there's a better way to get in contact you, send me your email address, whatever you need. I'm happy to get in contact with you and put you in touch with the junior committee member who's representing your area. I think this fall, we're going to try to do some regional meetups, potentially all on the same day, just to have some fun and get as many juniors together across the state as possible in different locations. Miranda's just hearing about this for the first time because it's been stewing in my brain. She just got really excited about that. So that's just something to stay tuned for. I do think we're moving out of the virtual age, but I do think that having these opportunities is really important as we move forward. So stay tuned, keep your eye out for more junior online gatherings. Same with the Grange Youth Mixers that have been happening. These virtual events are a really great way to keep everybody in touch with one another, even when we can't see each other in person. So thank you all for tuning in today. I really appreciate it, and have a very happy Saturday.